What's going on, YouTube? My name is Zach with Android Digest, and today I'm very happy to review the Google Pixel 5a. Now, this was sent to me as a gift from Google, which I am very grateful for, but at the same time, I've seen a lot of people, especially in the tech YouTube space, a lot of people are a little bit mad because, well, this person didn't get a Pixel and this person didn't. But you know what? I'm very grateful because obviously they have a limited supply, but Google did actually supply a lot of smaller creators with these Google Pixel 5a's, so I'm very grateful that they were able to do that. But there is one concern a lot of people would have. Are these people going to be objective? Are they going to be honest? And I'm going to tell you, I don't give a hoot what Google sends me. I'm going to keep it 100% real with my audience. I want to tell you all the highs and all the lows that this phone has, and I want to let you know if it's a phone that you should consider, especially as we're getting close to that Google Pixel 6, right? So we're excited about it, but there's also some little compromises that Google made with it. So let me keep it real with you. Let me take a dive into the Google Pixel 5, and let's really see if it is worth considering with all these new phones coming out. So let's get this video started and let's get it going. So the Google Pixel 5a is very interesting, and a lot of people are wondering, I've even heard it said, why in the world does this phone even exist? It retails at $450, and a lot of us would be tempted to compare it to the Google Pixel 4a that retails for $350. But honestly, this phone has a lot more in common with the Google Pixel 4a 5G. So the Pixel 5a has a 6.34-inch screen and is ever so slightly bigger than that Google Pixel 4a 5G. It's got a very similar look whenever you look at the body and the frame of the phone. The camera system looks extremely similar as well. This has the same processor, the Snapdragon 765G, but there's a couple of places that we're going to see improvements, and one place is the design. So this does have an actual aluminum frame, so this is not made of plastic, but it does feel a little bit like plastic. It feels sort of like a Spigen case or something, and that's because they do coat their aluminum with a little bit of something, but I really do like it. It's actually been a joy to use. I don't often use phones without cases, but this phone has been a little bit different and I've very much enjoyed that. This phone is also water resistant, which is a huge thing, and that is not to be taken lightly because they dropped the price. Remember, the Google Pixel 4a 5G was $500. This is $450. They dropped the price. They gave us water resistance, and another thing they gave us is a huge battery. This has a 4,680 milliamp battery. So it does only have a 60 hertz refresh rate, so that is not improved. There is not a lot really that is different between this and the 4a 5G, but you do have the aluminum frame, you do have water resistance, and you do have a very large battery, even bigger than the 4a 5G. So they did improve a lot over the Pixel 4a 5G, even if a lot of these things seem very minor. A huge battery, that is a big win for us budget consumers. But I know a lot of us would have preferred to get at least 90 hertz in this phone. That's a little bit of a disappointment. Now, if we take a deeper look at the design though, so there is no wireless charging on this phone, but you are going to see fast charging here with this USB-C port, and you are going to see two speakers there. You're also going to see a speaker at the top of the phone, and it's a very small speaker, so you're going to notice a lot of vibration. It reminds me of the Google Pixel 4a or the 4a 5G. It relies on a little bit of vibration to get the sound a little bit louder, so at higher volumes, it's ever so slightly muffled, and that is one little compromise they made with the design. But they were able to get this into a phone with very thin bezels, which is awesome to see. And on the back, you're going to see this here, and I know these new fingerprint sensors are all the rage in the screen, but boy, I very much prefer the fingerprint sensor on the back, so I'm very happy to see that. And on the top of the phone, you're going to see a headphone jack, and on the right side of the phone, you are going to see this textured power button, and that's an awesome thing to see, and up and down on the volume as well. Now, this color I have, it's very unique because it's not black, but it's got a little bit of green to it, so it looks pretty cool. Google actually called this phone mostly black, and I understand why, because it looks very similar to black, but I do like that it has a little bit of a green tint to it. Now, another place that we're going to see a lot of similarities between this and the 4a 5G is in the display. So if we do look at the display again, you're going to see a 6.34-inch screen. You're also going to see a 2400 by a 1080 resolution, and it's again a nice OLED panel. So this screen has a lot of similarities similarities to that Pixel 4a 5G. It looks really, really nice. It looks very crisp. Now, no, this does not have 90 Hz or 120 Hz, but still, it felt very fluid whenever I was using it. And a big reason for that is that Snapdragon 765G. I did not have any slowdowns, and nothing I really did was slowed down by the Snapdragon 765G. A lot of people out there that use $1,000 phones all day, they're going to tell you, yes, the Snapdragon 765G is so awful. Well, a lot of those people just haven't used mid-range phones before, honestly. And I've got to say, I've never had any issues. I'm not a crazy power user who has to game on everything on the highest settings, but this will still game and it will do a great job with gaming. It's going to be very, very fast, and it's going to give you a great bang for your buck. I think a lot of people, they are just normal users who just don't want their phone to lag, and they want to be able to use it day to day and have everything feel very, very smooth. And that's the exact good performance that I got from this phone, because the software, again, is so well optimized. Now, there is one question that I have that I haven't really been able to get answered yet, and that is with updates and software updates. So Google typically gives you like 3 years of updates, and I know there's rumors that Google could give you up to 5 years of updates with this new Google Pixel 6. But what I'm wondering, especially with these software updates, is will this phone get 3 updates from Android 12 or is it from Android 11? Because technically this phone is releasing with Android 11. So that is a question that a lot of you may have. I don't really have an answer for that. So that's just something that we do need to keep in mind. So the next thing I want to talk about is the camera. And the camera, of course, is what the Google Pixel name has been built on. And this has a tremendous camera, especially for $450. So this does have 2 lenses on the camera. It's a dual lens camera with a 12 megapixel lens and a 16 megapixel lens. And one of these is for a wide camera and another for an ultra wide camera. I got tremendous shots with this camera. I don't think we even need to talk a lot about the camera. You're pretty much going to get the same camera that you got on the Pixel 5 or the Pixel 4a 5G. You're not going to see a lot of differences, but I will say there is no laser autofocus in this model, but I didn't really notice it too much. Everything still seemed very good and crisp, so I didn't have a lot of issues with it. And no matter what I say for the camera, I just need to let my pictures speak for themselves. This does have a very good camera, and it's going to be better than anything you're going to see, even around $500 or $600. This is going to be a tremendous camera that you're really going to enjoy. Of course, you do have video stabilization whenever you're taking videos. You can cinematic pan. So if you do take video, you could go up to 4K, you can go up to 60 frames per second, and you can do that cinematic pan to get some nice clean shots. So I really think this camera is great. I think the video is good, and I think, of course, the normal picture taking is good, outside of that one minor thing they did take away from the camera. Now, the last thing I want to mention is overheating. Now, some people have mentioned overheating as a potential issue for them. Now, a lot of people were using their phone in much hotter conditions outside. Just keep in mind that some people are mentioning that. I think that would be fixed with software. This has very similar features to, again, the Pixel 4a 5G and the Google Pixel 5, so I don't expect those things to be a big issue. But overall, the bottom line with this camera, I could talk all day about it, but I want you to check these shots out. Realistically, this is a great camera, and it's going to be way better than anything else you're going to find at this price range. In fact, I would say it's going to be better than anything you're going to find even at $600 or $700, because Pixels are known for great cameras, right? So that's one of the big selling points of this phone. And the battery life on this device is tremendous. This has a 4,680 milliamp battery. That is the biggest battery that has ever been in existence in a Google Pixel phone. And I can't say enough, that is one of the best features of this phone, is that it has a way better battery than the Google Pixel 4a 5G. It has a better battery than the Google Pixel 5, and it has one of the better batteries that you're going to find at this price range. So this has a tremendous camera, it has tremendous software, and this is the biggest battery that, at least this far, that we've ever seen out of any Google Pixel phone, and we're going to get the optimization that we get with Google software. This does at least have 18-watt fast charging, no wireless charging, but again, when you consider all the features that this phone has, it does have water resistance. It is a great phone. And honestly, if I'm talking to people, your average everyday Joe Schmo, and I keep in mind that I talk to a lot of tech people on Twitter, and that's great, and they're probably going to want the latest and greatest every time. But when you talk to a normal person, most people just want a really good camera. Most people just want a phone that's not going to die on them. They want a phone that's not going to lag. And this phone, it does everything that it does in a great way. So I know a lot of people got sent Google Pixels, and again, I was one of those people. And people could think, oh, you don't want to be objective. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not afraid to say what's wrong with this phone. This phone does have problems with the laser autofocus. Some people are reporting some overheating issues. Now, I do expect a lot of that to get resolved, but that is a little bit of a problem at launch. And I really, really wish this phone had a 90 or 120 hertz refresh rate, and I don't understand why they didn't. But I'm going to keep it real with my audience, and regardless of all those things, regardless of the negatives of this phone, every phone has negatives, but in reality, this is priced very competitively at $450. I expect this to go on sale off and on, and you're going to find this phone for $350, $400, a water-resistant Google Pixel that's fast enough for pretty much everyone out there with a great battery, right? So when I consider all those things, yes, I would recommend this Google Pixel 5a. And again, I think it's the phone most people should consider because most people should not spend $1,000 on a smartphone, right? Especially when you get a phone this good for $450. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Give me a like, I would really appreciate that. And also a sub to my channel. You can click that little bell for notifications if you so please. And please follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/digestandroid, where I share a lot of stuff, right? I share a lot of things in regards to Android because I'm a big Android fan, obviously. And if you are too, follow me on there. I would appreciate that. And the links in the description, again, they may be affiliate links. That's one way you could help support my channel. Or again, a sub really helps a lot. So have a great day. Thank you so much. And check out some of my other videos if you get a little bit of time.